Hello everyone, welcome back to online class. I'm AKKAMAHADEVI, your science teacher from Upper Public School, Kalaburagi. So children, today I'm here with the continuation of the same chapter, that is body movements. Okay. So before we start this class, let us recall the points like what we have discussed in the previous class. Okay. So in the previous class, what we have discussed, children, we have discussed about bones, isn't it? And even we have discussed about joints. Okay. So what do you mean by joints and what are the different types of joints which are present in our body, isn't it? So now children, apart from these like bones, okay, and even the skeleton system, there is some additional part of the skeleton system, isn't it? They are not so hard like bones, and even they are not so soft also, but can be bent, isn't it? So what we call for those? Yes, we call cartilages. Okay, so they are the additional part of the skeleton system, isn't it? So cartilage are the, so these are the additional part of the skeleton, isn't it? So they are not so hard like bones, and even they are not so soft also, but we can bend, isn't it? So now question arises like where these types of bones are present, isn't it? You all might be thinking, children, right? So let me tell you. So just you observe or you feel your ears, children. Okay. So when you touch earlobe, so here when you touch earlobe, how you feel? Yes, you feel soft, isn't it? So when you touch the upper part of the ear here, isn't it? So when you touch the upper part of your ears, so how you feel? Yes, we feel like they are not so hard like bones, isn't it? And even we feel like they are not so soft like earlobe, isn't it? So here the cartilages are present which are not hard like bones and even not soft like earlobe, isn't it? So here when we touch earlobe, they are very soft, isn't it? So when we touch the upper part of our ears, so they are a bit hard, isn't it? So there the cartilages are present, isn't it? And even cartilages are present in the joints also, isn't it? So even the cartilages are present in the joints of the body also. Okay, so this is all about cartilages. So now let us discuss about, yes children, without muscles our body is incomplete, isn't it? So we know like we have bones like skeleton system, actually what we have discussed, everything is fine, but without muscles can our body move? Yes. So now, what do you mean by muscles? Yes. So here, muscles are soft tissue. So what do you mean by muscles here? So the muscles are soft tissue. And children, do you know that how many muscles are present in our body? 639 muscles are present in our body. And how they work, children? So always see, like when we move, like in our body part, like bone helps us to move. But when the bones will move, when these muscles work together, isn't it? So here muscles, when they work together, like always muscles works in pairs. Okay, so muscles, when muscles work together, then only a bone can move, isn't it? So here muscles can push, they cannot pull, isn't it? So this is all about muscles. Okay children, so we have discussed about bones, joints, cartilages, skeleton system, and even about muscles. So we have discussed about all the parts of human body only, isn't it? So now let us move forward and we will discuss about, or we will think about animals, isn't it? We all come to know like how they move and all. So now just a while you think like how animals will move. Yes children, how animals can move from one place to another place, any idea? So for that we will discuss about gait of animals. Isn't it, children? So gait of animals. So here gait means a particular way how the animals move. Isn't it? A particular way of moving animals is known as gait of animals. Okay. So you all know, children, like for example, you take cow, dog, cat. So how do these animals move from one place to another place? Yes, children. Either they walk or they run, isn't it? So now when we talk about snake, yes, children, how they move? They slither, isn't it? So now when we talk about birds, so how birds move? Yes, children, how birds move? Birds fly, isn't it? So now when we talk about fish, they swim, isn't it? So here we see like different types of animals. They have like they are having different movements, isn't it? That the way of movement is different. So now let us discuss about few animals in this chapter in detail, like how the body structure of those animals are and how their body structure helps them to move from one place to another place. So now which are those animals? Yes, children? So first, earthworm. Okay. So next is snail, isn't it? So next animal is cockroach, isn't it? Next, birds. Next, fish. Okay. So last, snake. Okay. So in this chapter, we are going to discuss in detail about these animals. Which are those? Earthworm, snail, cockroach, birds, fish, and about snake. Okay. So now when we talk about earthworm, okay, so you all might be observed earthworms, isn't it, children? So how they are, how the body of the earthworm will be? Yes, can you guess how the body of the earthworm will be? So the body of the earthworm is made up of many rings which are joined like end to end. So how the earthworm, see? So the rings are present. So like this. Isn't it? So the body of the earthworm is made up of many rings joined end to end. So how they are joined? They are joined end to end. Okay, so this is about earthworm. And now an earthworm, like the earthworm, they don't have the, they does not have the bones. So now you might be thinking like how they can move. Yes. So here the earthworms move with the help of muscles. Yes, children? So the earthworms does not have bones, isn't it? So they don't have the bones, but they have the muscles which help to extend and shorten their body, as you all can see in your textbook. Open your textbook page number 73. So here children, you can see they have shown the image of earthworm and even they have shown the steps like how the earthworms move, isn't it? So here you can see during movement what happens. So first what happens children, during movement the earthworm first extends the front part. Okay, so first what, see one they have written here. So first it extends the front part of the body, keeping the rear portion fixed to the ground. So front part it extends and the rear part it fixed to the ground. Okay, so next then it fixes the front and end and releases the rest end. So like this it contracts and relaxes the muscles and then it moves. Which animal? Earthworm. So even you can see the image of earthworm also. So children, earthworm have like with the earthworms are having bristles. Bristles means small hair, isn't it? So the bristles help to get a good grip on the ground. So the earthworms are having small bristles. Okay, so bristles means hair-like structure. So these bristles help them to get the good grip on the ground, isn't it? So that they can move easily in the soil, isn't it? So the earthworm, what it eats? Yes, children, do you have any idea that what the earthworms eat? The earthworm eats its way through the soil, isn't it? So its body then throws away the undigested part of the material that it eats. So whatever it eats, it throw as a undigested food. And this activity, what the earthworm is doing, the children. So this activity of an earthworm makes the soil more useful for plants, isn't it? So that soil is having more fertile, isn't it? So that soil is more useful for plants, isn't it? So to grow good plants, isn't it? So that the earthworm is called as farmer's friend. So we call like earthworms as a farmer's friend. Why? Because indirectly your earthworms are helping to make a soil fertile, which is good for farmers to grow like good healthy plants, isn't it? So indirectly what we call earthworms are the friends of farmers, isn't it? So this is all about earthworm. Okay. So now next is snail. So children, have you observed snail? Yes. So how the snail move? A snail is a very slow moving animal, isn't it? So it moves very slowly. Okay? Like the snail is a very slow moving animal. And do you observe like what it carries on its back? Yes, children? Snail carries shell on its back. So what snail carries on its back? Snail carries shell on its back. So it is the outer skeleton of the snail, isn't it? So what we call it is the outer skeleton of the snail, but it is not bone. It is just an outer skeleton. It is not a bone. Okay. So now open your textbook, page number 73. So you can observe children here the image of snail. So just by seeing this snail, what do you think? Like how many legs will be there for snail? Yes? Yes children, how many legs are here? Can you see their legs? No, because snail has only one foot. Okay? So snail has only one foot. Okay, so foot of snail is large. You can see here how the foot of snail is. The foot of snail is large, flat and disc shaped, made of strong muscles. Okay, so they are long, flat and disc shaped. Okay, and they are made of strong muscles. So they are having only one foot. Okay, so snake moves with the help of, yes children, snake moves with the help of foot, isn't it? So this is about which animal children? About snail. So snail is a very slow moving animal and it carries shell on its back. It is an outer skeleton of a bone. Okay, and it has only one foot. So how the foot is? Long, flat, and this shaped, and it is made up of strong muscles. Okay, and how they move? With the help of foot, isn't it? So now, children, next animal is cockroach. So where do we find cockroach in our home? Yes, children? Exactly, in the kitchen, isn't it? Most of the time cockroaches will be in the kitchen or else in the storeroom. Yes? So have you observed how the cockroaches will be? Yes? And even children, like cockroaches can fly also. Even they can run also. Even they can climb also, isn't it? So here cockroach can walk, okay? They can climb as well as they can fly also in the air, isn't it? And how the body of the cockroach is? So the body of the cockroach is covered with a hard outer skeleton. So the body of the cockroach is like upper part we can see it is a hard outer skeleton which is made up of number of plates. So when it will be fly, we can observe like the plates on the upper part, isn't it? So it is made up of number of plates joined together, and that permits movement. So with the help of those, they can move from one place to another place. Okay. And now, how many pairs of wings are attached to the body, children? Yes. So there are two pairs of wings attached to the body behind head. Okay. So how many pairs of wings are attached? There are two pairs of wings attached to the body behind head, isn't it? And the cockroaches have distinct muscles, those near the legs, which help them to move, isn't it? And the body muscles move the wings when the cockroach flies. Okay, so the cockroach have distinct muscles, one which help them to move and one which help them to fly, isn't it? So this is all about which animal? Cockroach. Okay, so now next, birds. So you all know how birds move. Yes, children? Birds can fly in the air, isn't it? And even some birds, like they can walk on the ground also. And some birds, like ducks and swans, also swim in water. Okay, so the birds can fly because their bodies are well suited for flying. So how the birds can fly? Can we fly? No, our body is not well suited for fly, isn't it? So the birds' body are well suited for flying. Okay, and their bones are hollow and light. How the bones of the birds will be? They are hollow and very light. Okay. So the breastbones are modified to hold muscles of flight which are used to move the wings up and down. Okay. So here the breastbones are modified to hold muscles to fly which are used to move the wings up and down. So this helps the wings to move up and down. Okay. And forelimbs are modified into wings and hind limbs are used for walking and perching. Okay. So this is all about birds. Okay, children. So now next animal is fish. So body of fish is here and this two part. Okay. So how the body of the fish is streamlined. Okay. So how the body of the fish is? The body of the fish is streamlined and the shape is in such a way that in water it can flow around it. So water can flow around the fish. The body is in such a way and allow the fish to move in water. So the body of the fish helps to move in water easily. So how the body of the fish is streamlined. Okay. So the skeleton of the fish is covered with strong muscles. So how the skeleton of the fish will be? It is covered with strong muscles. Okay, fish also have other fins on their body which mainly help to keep the balance of the body and keep direction while swimming. So the body of the fish helps to move quickly in water. Okay, so this is all about fish. Okay, so now last animal, snake. So you all might be seeing snakes, isn't it, children? How the snakes will be? Yes, they are very short. Yes. So snakes have like long backbone. So snakes have long backbone and they have many thin muscles. Okay. So how the snakes are? The snakes are having very long backbone and they are having very thin muscles. Okay. And they are connected to each other even though they are far from one another. So the muscles are connected to each other even though they are far from one another. Okay, so muscles are interconnect the backbone, ribs and skin. So here muscles are interconnected the backbone, ribs and skin. And now how the snakes move? While moving snakes, have you observed like they form a loop, they form like curve shape, isn't it? So the snake's body curve into many loops. Loops means like this. The snakes will not move in a straight way, isn't it? They form a curve, like they form a loop. So each loop of the snakes gives it a forward push by pressing against the ground. So it forms a loop and it moves forward. Okay. So since its long body makes many loops, so snakes makes many loops while moving. Okay. The snake moves forward very fast and not in a straight line. The snakes will not move in a straight line. Have you ever seen like the snakes moving in a straight line? Yes, children? No, they will not move in a straight line. They form a loop, curved loop. They form a loop and then they move fast. Okay, so this is all about the animals which take like the movement of animals which we have discussed now. Like we have discussed about earthworms, like how they move, snail, cockroach, birds, fish, and snake. Okay, so this is all about gait of animals. So this is all about the lesson body movements. Not only of the human body we have discussed children, even we have discussed about the movement of animals in this chapter. Okay, so this is all about chapter number 8, body movements. So now at last we will quick solve the exercise part of this lesson children. Okay. So open your textbook and take out pencil and write answers in your textbook only. So later after your P2 exam, I will send the PDF of this chapter lesson and at that time you note down the notes in your classwork book. Until then just you write in your textbook only. Okay. So the first bit. What is the first bit? Yes, children, fill in the blanks. Okay, so the first bit is fill in the blanks. So first question is joints of the bones help in the dash of the body. So here joints of the bones help in the dash of the body. What it helps? Yes, children, it helps in the movement of the body, isn't it? It helps in the movement of the body. Okay, so this is the first answer. So next question is a combination of bones and cartilages forms the dash of the body. So here combination of bones and cartilages forms the what it forms? It forms skeleton. So what it forms? It forms the skeleton of the body. Okay. So next C. The bones at the elbow are joined by a dash joint. So which are the joints which are present in elbow and knee? Yes. The bones at the elbow are joined by a dash joint. In the elbow, which type of joint is present? Yes, children? Exactly. hinge, isn't it? Hinge joints are present in elbow and knee, isn't it? So the answer is hinge. Okay. So now next question. The contraction of the dash pulls the bones during movement. So here the contraction of the exactly muscles. So here the contraction of muscles pulls the bones. Okay. So these are all the answers of fill in the blanks. So now next bit is true or false. So I'll read the statement, children. True or false. First one. The movement and locomotion of all animals is exactly the same. Whether the movement and locomotion of all the animals are exactly same, all the animals, whether they move in a same movement? No. So the answer is false. Okay. So second question next. The cartilages are harder than bones. Whether the cartilages are harder than bones? No. Again, the answer is false. Okay. Next question. The finger bones do not have joints. The finger bones, they do not have joints. Yes, children, is it true? Again, the answer is false. Okay. So now next, fourth one. The forearm has two bones. Yes, the forearm has two bones. The answer is true. Okay. So next question. Cockroaches have an outer skeleton. Yes, the cockroaches have an outer skeleton. So the statement is here true. Okay. So these are all the statements which we should say whether they are true or false. Okay. So now next bit. Match the items in column 1 with one or more items of column 2. Okay. So just here I'll write the number so that you can match later. Upper jaw. Okay. So what might be the answer here? Upper jaw means is an immovable joint. Okay. So upper jaw. The answer is an immovable joint. Okay. Next, fish. So for this option, there are two answers, children. Okay. Fish, one is have fins on their body, isn't it? So the first answer is have fins on the body, and one more is have a streamlined body. So the options 2 are correct for this question. Okay. Which are those? One is have fins on the body, and one more is have a streamlined body. Okay. You can write 2 also. Next is ribs. Okay. So for ribs, from these, which is the correct answer? Yes, protect the heart. Okay. So ribs, the answer is protects the heart. Okay. Next, snail. Okay. So for this snail, which is the correct answer? Shows very slow movement, isn't it? So snail shows very slow movement is the correct answer. Okay. So next, last one is cockroach. So here for this option also there are two answers, children. One is has an outer skeleton, and one more is can fly in the air. Okay. So two options also you can write. One is has an outer skeleton, and one more is can fly in the air. Okay. So this is all about the match the following. So now answer the following. So first question is, what is a ball and socket joint? So what is the first question, children? What is ball and socket joint. And the answer for this is the rounded end of one bone fits into the cavity of another bone Okay, so here the rounded end of one bone fits into the cavity of other bone. Such a joint is called which joint, children? Ball and socket joint. Okay, so ball and socket joint allow movements it allows movements in all the directions. Okay, so what do you mean by ball and socket joint, children? So the rounded end of one bone fits into the cavity of other bone. Such a joint is called ball and socket joint. Okay, so ball and socket joint allow movements in all the directions. Okay, so this is the answer for first question. So now next question is, which of the skull bones are movable? Okay, so let me write second answer. So what is the question, children? Which of the skull bones are movable? Okay, so the answer for this question is lower jaw. Okay, lower jaw bone is the only skull bone which is movable. So in the skull only, as we discussed, like only one jaw is movable in the overall skull, that is lower jaw, isn't it? So here the answer for that question is lower jaw bone is the only skull bone which is movable. So here upper jaw is not movable because it is fixed, but the movable is lower jaw. Okay, so this is the answer for second question. So now third one, why can our elbow not move backwards? Yes, children, why can our elbow not move backwards? Why? Let me write here. Elbow cannot move backward because it has a hinge joint. Which joints are present there? Hinge joints. So this joint allows movement only in one direction. Yes, children. So the answer for this question is elbow cannot move backward because it has a hinge joint which allows movement in one direction. So here the hinge joints allow movement only in one direction so that we cannot move our elbow backward. Okay. So this is all about the exercise part, children. I hope like you all have understood this lesson. So of this lesson's PDF after PA2 I will send children. So this is all about body movements. Thank you children. Have a nice day.